May's taking a long time. I guess dinner will take a while to finish. Might as well have a nap. I sighed and went back to my room. Stretching
She
out on my... Sorry,
she
go on.
comes back with like cards. Where is everyone?
They said they'd play. No one ever plays Uno with me anymore.
Oh.
Just for snow owls.
Oh.
Stretching out on my bed. Wait, what? Were you going to say something like they don't give a hoot?
Oh. Well, I mean, sure, totally. That's exactly where my brain was going.
Of course, I know you well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stretching out on the bed, my thoughts turned to Shen. If we're to placate her, we'll have to deliver an unlocked gate soon. Man, why does this stuff always happen to me?
Me. Hey, lazy bones, wake up. Dinner's served.
I felt a hard shove on my shoulder. As usual, Lynn was showing off her ladylike charms in waking a man gently.
I have to admit, May really pulled out all the stops on this one. I don't even want to think about how much this'll cost us.
I didn't care, as long as there was plenty of booze. Sleep helped me forget about our situation for a while, but now the alcohol was going to have to take over. We really are an alcoholic.
Yep.
The scent of cooked meat and spices filled the room. More than yesterday, the table was packed with food. It was practically a meal fit for kings. Strange that this was possible as far out in the wilderness as we were. Where was May getting all of this high-class food anyway? Well, I don't see any other guests. It's man meat.
Knew it.
Noticing my entry, May gave me her usual winsome smile.
Today's dinner is on the house, Sir Kang. Consider compensation for your recent difficulties.
Oh my god, this happens to everyone. It's not just me. Sometimes we have difficulty getting it up.
We all should get free food. Oh. Okay then.
May winked at me, making me wonder just who was running the show. Wasn't it that lunatic werewolf who brought all of this about? Lynn fixed her mistrustful gaze on May.
There's no such thing as free lunch. What have you got up your sleeve?
She's only really got one sleeve.
Yeah, really. Well, she
At
said
this
your
ma-
sleeve, not your sleeves.
That's true. I am the fool here.
Haha.
At this, May swirled her hair around between her fingers bashfully.
I put a little something extra in your dinner. If you wouldn't mind, I've a deck of cards with which we might spend the night.
Makes it sound like I'm gonna sleep with the cards.
I mean, there might be a hole in it. You don't know.
Oh god. Paper cuts. Lynn huffed, piercing one of her carrots harshly with her fork.
Damn carrots. I still don't trust that you're not a witch. Are you going to cast a spell with those cards of yours?
I gave Lynn a light punch in the arm for that. Don't kill carrots. Part of my superstitious friend here will be happy to play. If May really practices spellcraft, we don't want to be on her bad side. My thoughts turned to the rune-inscribed gate to the mine. Even if May herself wasn't a witch, she was most certainly already in contact with someone who was. So, what's the game? May smiled happily and produced a deck from beneath the table.
I know of only one. It is played often in the Western realms, I am told. Perhaps Miss Lynn would know about it.
Definitely strip poker.
I hope so.
But Lynn dismissively shook her head.
I don't. I have no interest in such games.
So she said, but there was an innocent curiosity in her eyes that she couldn't conceal. The Western realms were the birthplace of her mother, after all.
An old friend of mine once told me that there is one especially popular in taverns. Allow me to explain the rules.
May began spreading the cards into the gaps between our plates. While she busied herself starting the game, I cut myself a slice of puffer pig... Puffer pig?
What is puffer pig?
Oh, this is the day when pigs fly.
I knew it. It's amazing.
Puffer pig meat, and reached out for a cup of wine. And to be honest, I'm not quite in the mood for games either. Shouldn't we eat first anyway?
Oh, please, Sir Kang. Won't you indulge me while we eat? I promise the game won't demand too much of your attention.
My game won't go on any further.
Oh.
Hold on.
Okay.
There we go. I got it.
Okay.
May seemed somehow overly interested in this game. Not unlike a few tavern-goers I've known before. Compulsive gamblers, one and all. A dangerous sort to play with if you like to keep your coin.
The game is called Seven Realms and the Only Emperor. Each player will start with one province and must gain control over them all without losing their home territory. However, raw military might is not the surest path to victory because...
Feeling a tiresome explanation coming on, I let out an indifferent yawn. Lynn, on the other hand, was all ears. As her explanations broadened, she supplemented them by providing figures of warriors, cities, and a representation for nearly every rule in this strange game. Every rule this strange game had enough complexity to allow. I was going to need more to drink, it seemed.
Don't go drinking yourself into a stupor. When we're done with this game, we still need to discuss our plans for tomorrow. Kang, hey, are you listening to me?
Lynn made a go for the bottle in my hand, but failed to take it away. Never underestimate the iron grip of an alcoholic with a bottle in his hand. Admitting it is the first step, Kang.
Hooray, he's gonna get some help.
I'm gonna need to be blasted off my ass before I do either of those things. Pegging. Interesting. I quickly brought the bottle to my mouth and raised its bottom to the ceiling. If I didn't down it all now, Lynn would probably take another shot at robbing it from me later. I was laughing at bottom.
Of course you were.
In no time, I started seeing double.
Great.
Good, that's much better.
May's got 4 boobs.
I mean, more boobs is better, right?
I guess.
With a cheerful wink, May took the emptied bottle from me and reached under the table, producing a full one. Wisely, she offered it to Lynn first. Lynn knew what that meant. Any amount she didn't drink out of it now was definitely going to find its way to my liver. She easily obliged May's silent offer.
Then, shall we begin the game? Sir Kang, Lady Lynn, what will you be taking for your starting bonuses?
Already feeling the effects of the drink she had denied me, Lynn gave an abrupt answer, as if trying to beat me to the punch.
Double starting treasury.
May's eyes flashed in enthusiastic reply.
Rich mineral resources.
She then turned to me.
Sir Kang, what will be your choice?
I think I might have missed something here. What are my choices again?
Great.
May sighed, then took a quick drink, possibly to cover up her dismay.
Every region has its own starting advantage. Though we have taken the ones with the treasury and minerals, there are those with fertile farmland, tamed dragons, zealously loyal citizens, court magicians, and a professional army. Oh god, I hope we take magicians.
What, really? Tame dragons, dude?
I just want the magicians because it's dumb. But we can do dragons.
How to train your dragons.
Okay, alright. Alright.
You can do magicians if you want, but dragons, really?
Alright, dragons then. What will you choose, Sir Kang?
To be honest, I barely even remembered the options after being given them twice, but I managed to at least remember the last choice this time. You're a fucking idiot, Kang.
Boo!
Take an army when you could have dragons or magicians?
How could he?
We need to kill him.
Yeah.
I think I'll take the army. After we finished most of our meal, the game went on surprisingly smoothly. I even put in an effort to make sense of the rules, and even came out ahead on some of the turns. But in the end, neither of us were a match for May. She looked quite pleased with herself, actually.
Now, do not despair. You have done quite well for first-timers. You will only improve with practice. I am sure, in any case, we have plenty of time.
Falling to May's backhanded consolation, Lynn beat her fist against the table.
Don't you give me that. Just a little more, and I would have had you beat. I was so close this time anyway.
Maybe another drink will fix that. Lynn turned to me with anger in her eyes.
Aren't you finished yet? Just look at you, you're a mess.
All 5 of you. You want to talk? May rose up to refill our cups with wine.
If the gentleman insists, I'll happily oblige.
Let's do shots.
Yeah.
That's the spirit, May. You've got yourself a gambling companion as long as you keep my cup full. Keeping my word, I joined him for another round as we drank. Once May had to reach close to me to draw a card from my hand. I'd have thought nothing of it, but at that moment I felt a sudden sting in my chest. An insect? I checked to see if I'd been bitten by something, but there was nothing there. Nothing, that is, apart from the pendant around my neck. My father's, given to me some time ago. Must have jabbed me when I shifted my weight.
By the way, are you two aware of the treasures said to be in the mine called Albarat?
Treasures? What kind?
Lynn was immediately interested. Get her on the topic of money and you'd be hard-pressed to pry her away from it. Can't say I'm bothered much about the treasures inside that mine. It's my neck if we can't get the door open in the first place. Hiccup. Though, I would have to admit, if only privately, that I might have a mind for gold myself sometimes. And May could clearly see that. She leaned forward seductively, taking my chin in her hand and pulling me close so she could speak more quietly. What a nice view. I was just thinking the same. She's got to be doing this on purpose. Not that I mind.
Would it interest you to know that I can already break the seal? I can open it for you whenever you'd like.
Sploosh. At that moment, she finally collapsed onto the table, out like a light. Looks like she's hit her limit. I can't just leave the conversation at that. Grabbing her by the shoulders, I tried to shake her awake again.
Hey, you keep your hands to yourself. Can't you see that she's tired? Just let her sleep.
No, she was going to open something. Lynn's complaints didn't last long. She quickly followed May's example and found herself heaped upon the table. Hey, you can't leave me hanging like that. What are you going to do about the gate? May tilted her head and looked about with vacant eyes.
Please, leave me be. I'll break the seal with a simple spell. Now go away and let me sleep. A spell? The Master Seal is easy to counter. It only casts to stop the monsters from escaping, wreak havoc. Now that if this stupid she-wolf wants to tussle with it, she can have her bloody battle.
I'm liking May. Clarity returned to May's eyes for a moment.
Perhaps I've spoken too much.
Lynn quickly darted back up. She couldn't decide whether to look straight at me or May. Aw, she's so cute.
Just looking in between us like, Kang, she's talking about magic. I told you, Kang. I told you she's a witch. What do we do?
Weigh her. Relax, you're both drunk and talking nonsense. It explains many things. What do we want to do?
I mean, we know she's a witch.
We do, because she weighs the same as a duck.
Yeah.
It explains many things, then?
I guess so. I mean, they are both drunk, but still.
That doesn't change the fact.
Yes.
Immortal beings do not live close to the werewolves, and do not speak to them as an equal. She didn't tell us the truth from the very beginning, but... let's decide something tomorrow. Oh, Lynn rebelliously tried to protest. I don't know why I didn't read that. Let's just go to bed, okay? It sounds like May has a plan, but we're all too drunk for anything but talking nonsense at this point. We'll talk about this in the morning. Lynn tried to stand, but wobbled pathetically back down to her seat. Help her stand up or tease her?
Oh, are we going for Lynn, or...?
I don't know.
It's hard. There's so many pretty
be.
ladies. I mean, probably already is.
You don't know me. But yes.
I mean, if we help her to stand, we might be able to take her back to her room and then, get lucky.
That means editing on my part and yours. Let's help her stand then. I'm a sucker for Lynn.
Yeah, it's that red hair.
Swoon. I guess there are some other ladies who got drunk. I will help you get to your room.
Knew it.
I took her under her bust and lifted her vertically.
I'd rather do it myself.
So forward. She tries to break away. She's so funny. And I can release her. I don't understand.
Drop.
Lynn got... Pardon, what?
We just
Drop her.
drop her on the floor.
Onto the table. Lynn got silent and sulky. I slung her arm and carried her to the room. Wait, should Lynn have been drinking when she's ill?
No, probably not.